How was it possible for the American patriots to gain their independence from the powerful British Empire?
First of all, countless factors aided in the idea to obtain independence from England. One of them was the land.
The Americans fought on their own land. The Americans knew their own land better than the British, who had basically owned it, which gave them an advantage. The countryside of the colonies was particularly hard to encounter, as the British had a difficult time going through.
The British had to aid in the defense of the Loyalists who were supporting their cause, but the sheer size of the countryside made it hard for the British to even lay a finger on them. The Loyalists were facing difficult persecution and suffered assaults, tar and featherings, and even murders.
Britain made a giant mistake in this, as many potential supporters at the beginning of the war then made their way to support the Patriots in their journey to independence. 50,000 loyalists formed as many as 70 regiments to gain the control of the colonies. Ironically, the British did not trust the loyalists, so the British did end up losing potential supporters to the Patriots and the cause for independence.
Guerrilla warfare and hit-and-run tactics were a major part of this war, because of prior experiences that the colonists had with the Indians. The men of the American militia struck quickly, often attacking from behind trees of branches. They then disappeared into the vast forest, evading their attackers, because the Americans wore rags and regular clothing compared to the neat and ordered uniforms of the British forces.
Because of this, it was highly difficult to distinguish the supporters of American independence and the loyalists, which, besides the deceit that Britain had given them, had continued to support them. Washington, being the smart leader he was, decided with his matters of keeping things low key that any confrontations with the British should be avoided. This made it impossible for the British to even deliver the worst fight. His tactic worked best for the remainder of the Revolution. Only during 1780 at Charleston, South Carolina, that the Americans had to surrender to British forces. The aid of other nations did help significantly for America to beat the British Empire. France and Spain were currently at war with the British, and they really hated them. They realized that with enough help, the Americans had a chance to win the war, so they decided to help. France was more of an important contributor than Spain, who was focusing more on the territory of Spanish Florida. This is how Washington met the famous Marquis de Lafayette. France first secretly gave money to the American cause to aid them in any monetary efforts, then publicly announced their support for America. In February of 1778, the French and Americans worked out a trade agreement and alliance. France then declared war on Britain and helped out America by giving them money, equipment, and troops to fight the war.
It was probable that the Americans could have lost this crucial effort without the help of France and other countries, and that the Americans could have waited countless years just to obtain the independence they deserved.
Slaves did make an important impact in making sure America got their independence. Of course, the idea of slavery is a bad concept, but the British did think that this could help with the war. In November of 1775, Lord Dunmore released an Emancipation Proclamation freeing any slaves or indentured servants willing to fight in the Royal Army. Over 800 slaves joined the cause, but on America's side, many slave owners did not like this and decided to go for the American cause for independence.
Lastly, the most important thing that let us win this war and gain our independence was our faith and drive for it. Everyone in the American colonies put forward whatever goods or services they could offer to assist in the process of being an independent nation.
The Americans knew that with enough faith, belief, and determination that they could win the war and gain the independence they strongly deserved. With the help of France, they fought till the end and used every ounce of power they could to take down the British, who at the time were the most powerful empire in the entire world. This is how it was possible for the American patriots to gain their independence from the powerful British Empire.